Welcome to Halftime Heroes with the latest sports news from around the Mornington Peninsula. With Adam Kelly, Peter Susovich, Neil Craig, Lee McQuillan, Luke Harris and Chris Gamble. Take it away, Adam.
G'day sports fans and welcome to the Halftime Heroes football show. We are back. Jeez, it feels good to be back in Suss's garage. I feel like I'm home. And guess who's next to me? He's back from the jungle, Peter Susovich.
That's great to be back.
It is good to be back.
Bit lighter. Bit lighter?
Yeah,
you... Jeez, I like it.
No, they look good. You showed me off air.
I'm a bit
and they
perky.
look very good. Yeah. A decent sized perky C cup, I would say. Gammers?
I haven't noticed myself, but yeah, they look all right.
Well, you rocked up a little late. Yeah, I've had the full show, so it's been nice. As I said, welcome to the Halftime Heroes. It was round 6, and what a round of football it was. Only 2 games played out in Division 1.
Round 5.
Round 5. We're going to go into round 6. Thank you. Yep. See, that's why we have you around.
It was a shit weekend.
That's why we have you around. It was, well, I mean, look, it wasn't too bad.
Have we started the season yet?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. No, we have. We have. Definitely we have. We're a little bit light on today, just the 3 of us. The commish now. We got some late mail. So he's at home with his beautiful wife, Steph. Now, let's be honest, Halftime Hero family, they could afford Noni Hazelhurst and the entire fucking play school
Don
group
Spencer
cast and to read the kids. So they're home babysitting. The oldest is off doing some business. Georgie Parker. Mate, there's no excuse. I showed up last week. I had a death in the family. Showed up, Gammers, and we got the job done in the end.
Courageous by you, Adam, too, by the way.
No, thank you, mate. It's been a tough week, but we're on with it now.
Back to Noni. Let's go.
Yeah, back to Noni. Yeah, so, mate, be better. Fair income. It's not about the kids. It's about you just having a night off. So be better. Spook has he celebrated Mother's Day way too hard, so he's got some reviews to do. So no Spook, and so you've got the 3 of us, which I'm very much looking forward to. Only 2 games played in round 5, so we're going to go through them. If you do want to get in touch with the Halftime Heroes, because I'm telling you, Sus, it has absolutely blown up. Now, we're going to go into points a little bit later on, but it has absolutely blown up. We've exploded the wide world web, so if you want to get in on that, make sure you hit us up at halftimeheroes.mpfnl@gmail.com, or you can go to any of our social tags, Halftime Heroes, and you can get involved, give us your thoughts, share your thoughts, because we want to hear it.
It is, mate. Even the Pope's involved now.
Even the Pope. Someone commented saying you can't bring religion into it. At Halftime Heroes, we can really say and do anything we want. We are self-supported and we just enjoy each other's company, and everyone has their own opinions. So, you know what? Don't come at us with your pitchforks and torches, because we're just not interested. We're going to speak our mind. If you don't like it, don't download it and don't listen to it. It's as simple as that. So we're here to enjoy ourselves and therefore, hopefully, Gammers, entertain the Halftime Hero family.
I'm going to take a little pot shot at Spook.
Oh, shoot, please.
I don't know if I should. But
no, do it, because he's expecting it.
I'm a coach as well, mate. I did my reviews on Mother's Day, and I don't know if I should be ashamed of this or not, but it was my wife's birthday as well, so the double day. So, Spook, just be a little bit more courageous at home and get your reviews done on a Sunday so you can fulfil your commitments here.
Or get a weatherproof laptop and do it in the sauna.
I'm in trouble now. I'm in trouble.
Do it in the sauna. No, because the thing, he said to me the other day, I said, so if you haven't jumped on Fueled by Spook, he's doing this amazing thing at the moment where he's, well, I don't know, just normal people wouldn't do such things.
He's cooking himself.
He's cooking himself from the insides. Gammers, 130 degrees for half an hour. How is that possible? You can slow roast a lamb shoulder
2 hours
cooler than that. I don't understand it.
I took great joy eating a cherry ripe in front of him.
I know, that was funny. And he was just coming off the fast. He was two hours away from coming off a fast, and you could tell from the first 5 minutes he was okay, but then during the
slow decline,
there was a slow decline, and didn't he get grumpier? Like he ripped into me for missing during Spook's soapbox, ripped into me, and it only got worse from there.
Cognitive.
Feed the man some carbs, for God's sake, Suze. It was almost unbearable. Let's jump straight into what was round 5 in Division 1 football. As we head to the Division 1 football show, we saw Mornington taking on the Pines Football Netball Club at Mornington Alexandra Park. 2015 Pines over Mornington 14-12. Sus, you were there. What did you make of it, please?
It was a first half where Mornington controlled Just and Pines, and Paddy will back me up. I had a chat with Paddy after the match. He'll back me up. His first half was shit.
Yep.
So, but after that, 3/4 time, he's obviously said something to him in the rooms after that, and they've gone whooshka, and 3/4 time, they're
7-goal quarter in the third.
their presence, and just two people, and I'm saying this in a nice way, two people that just intimidate.
Yep.
And that's Mr. Russell Gabriel,
Yep.
and Mr.
Superstar.
Hendy. They just dominated. So well done to them. Mornington, geez, they're on the verge. They're just on the verge. They just need to put the 4 quarters together. So back to the drawing board. But here's one for you.
Gammers.
Is that I've just got a bit of jet
Still
lag.
got
Just
bit of
forgot
jet
who I
lag.
was, did you? Sus, that's okay.
Bit of jet lag at
Thanks,
the moment.
You got back 5 days ago.
No, yesterday.
Let me guess, you're going to talk about Sharpie?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
half a dozen.
Yeah.
It's
Well-
11 in 2 weeks.
Well, apparently he had to do something.
If someone taped, well, they would have. We've seen his first 2 quarters. He'd be really disappointed. He was not a VFL class player in his first 2 quarters, but after that he came out and did very well. But it was interesting going through the team lists of both sides and seeing where they originated from. So that was a bit of an eye opener. So
No, absolutely.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, on that, Mornington played with 42 points and the Pines Football Netball Club played with 41 points. So both teams almost at the full whack. So it was always going to be an entertaining game. Kai Owens, Ned Moody, Todd Vanderhaar, Kai Wonderley and Ty Cull in the best for Mornington. And for Pines, it was Kai Summer, Jake Klein, Benjamin Thomas, Dylan Williams and Jackson Vaughan.
I'll give you one thing for Mornington.
New names there too.
They're sticking with their policy in playing under 19s. So they're
Who's that? Sorry, Sus.
Mornington.
Yeah.
So they're putting the 2 or 3 under 19s in each week and giving them a run, and the club will be a much better place for it.
There is no question about that. And for those Mornington fans out there, Gammers, Macca a couple of weeks ago, I think, didn't he, Gammers, say that I think they were up to 9 kids that they'd played in the first 4 rounds. So impressive, and it can only be of benefit to the club in future.
It's a great policy. Mornington, I guess they're staring Div 1 relegation in the face, but they're not blinking. Like, there's obviously Mornington and Red Hill are at the foot of the ladder at the moment, but it's really courageous from the Mornington club to persist with that policy, knowing that it could be tough times for a little while, but it could net them a couple of wins at the end of the year, and it could pay them back dividends in the coming years. In Div 1.
No doubt at all. The next game was the selection table match of the day, and it was between Frankston YCW and the Mount Eliza Football Netball Club. Mount Eliza not getting the job done. Don't know what's going on there. They're in a bit of strife, but 21 points. Frankston YC off to a slow start also. 13-9-87, played 9-12-66. It was a very ordinary game early, with only, 1 goal for between the two up until the first quarter break. Best players for YC was Luca Goonan, McKenna Hura, Jimmy Cahill, Riley Darcy and Max Gregory, and they played with 33 points. And for Mount Eliza, it was Lockie Williams. We just spoke about him off air. William Lambert, Lambie, love him, absolute gun of a superstar of a local player. Christopher Carey, Alice Bain and Jasper O'Neill, and they played with 36 points. So very even across the two teams there. Anything to mention From you, Sus, did you catch any of that?
I suppose the takeaways from Division 1 will...
Oh, I love it, the takeaways.
Yeah,
you did mention why you're we'll go into your conflict and why you had to go and then you're back now, but you did mention that we'd not included the takeaways in the last couple of episodes.
I kept on headbutting the hut wall up in the jungle. Just where's the takeaways?
Where's the takeaways?
Unbelievable.
No one was worthy. No one was worthy. So.
But let's go for this round, and I reckon Mount Eliza are 1 match away from missing out on finals. If they lose another match in the first half of the year, they're out of finals.
I did mention this to the commission last week. I mean, when are we going to put a line through Mount Eliza? I'm definitely not there yet.
I'm not there yet.
I look at that result between YC and Mount Eliza and probably go, that's what we all expected. You look at those first quarter scores, it looks like a boring game. I wasn't there, I'm not sure.
I wasn't there.
But it looks like a couple of teams that played really good defence and neither could score. So
you'd expect that. It was hot. Would have been a hot footy. Beautiful
and it
day.
was perfect conditions.
Yeah.
So that probably says a bit about Mount Eliza. That defensively they were pretty good. You look at the half-time scores. It's 10 shots to 9 Mount Eliza's way. Inaccuracies cost them. And then it just looks like the more connected team at the moment and the more mature teams just run away with a bit in the second half. So I'm sticking with Mount Eliza for another week, but I agree. There's going to be a time where we start saying, hey, they can't make it.
They're the holding premiers at the moment, and they've won 1 match out of 5, and the final 5 at the moment, or the top 5 at the moment, have all on 16 points.
It's good. They're 3 games. They're 3 games and 20% out of the 5 at the moment.
It is hot footy. My takeaway, Sus, I think, for me, after what Pines did to Rosebud last week, and then, Mornington, don't take it away from them. They would have been happy enough, and there's plenty to draw on the review this week. But the Pines, for me, they're not, if they can stay fit, which I know Paddy's going to do an amazing job making sure that he nurses them through, but they're not going to go away. Big-bodied side, they're always threatening, and let's be honest, when the tough get going, the Pines seem to lift, and then the others just sort of drop their heads a bit, Gammers, because they demand respect, and if they don't get it, they'll thump it into you.
That's what they do.
Yep. No. And for me, there's nothing wrong with that. The next, that rounds out. Round 5. God, the rounds are. It's this whole bloody Easter break and bullshit. That's what it is.
Hard to follow.
The upcoming round is round 6. It's going to be played out on Saturday, the 17th of May. The first game that we're going to have a quick look at is Dramana taking on Sorrento. This is going to be an interesting game for both clubs. Sorrento, I think they're going to want to prove themselves against a firing Dramana. There's plenty of chat coming out of Dramana. I might be able just to run with something perhaps next week. But let's just say that they're talking to some past players that have showed interest in potentially joining the Tigers again down at Dramana.
Rejoining. Yes.
Rejoining. So I can't run with any names yet because they're not confirmed. I just know that the club are talking to some past players. So that could be very interesting. But for me, I think Dramana at home, being a bit of a smaller deck, I reckon Dramana maybe... Oh, no, Dramana for me. Sus.
Dramana, it's going to be raining as well.
It is.
So we're looking at about 4 mil of rain. And on Dramana's deck, they play it like no other.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
Dramana here.
Gammas, your thoughts?
6th versus 7th on the ladder.
Yep.
So the loser of this game potentially goes 3 games plus percentage outside the 5. So there's a lot at stake on Saturday. I'm leaning to Dramana as well. I think some of the stuff we've heard is a sign Dramana's still a force to be reckoned with. If players want to go back there, there's obviously still good culture down there and good people down there. And I think they might write their season. It's a little bit different to probably where Mount Eliza is at the moment. We don't know. I think Dramana are going to come.
Yeah,
so,
I think they're going to come
there's
too.
a spot. There's probably 2 spots up for grabs in that top 5, and I think Dramana will fill one of them.
Very good. The next game is Mount Eliza taking on Lang Warren Football Netball Club at Emil Madsen Reserve. It's going to be a full house, I reckon, down at Mount Eliza, and Mount Eliza are going to be desperate for this win. But Lang Warren, geez, they can really set the tone of the last couple of weeks and just go whackety-whack against the 2024 Premiers.
Geez, this is a match.
I know.
This is a season-defining match for both sides. So Lang Warren get across the line, that sets them on a course. And if Mount Eliza lose, that sets them on another course. But, yeah, so both big decks, so they're used to it.
Yep.
So the Mount Eliza, but again, the rain, and I just get the feeling Lang Warren might get the job done.
I reckon Lang Warren too in a very, very close one, I reckon.
Well, this is the one, isn't it? So for Mounties, that'll put them potentially 4 games outside the top 5 with 12 to go. I'm gonna go against you. I think this is the time. I look at that YC game just from the scores and scoring shots perspective. They were in that game again, and I think YC showed the week before they're a fair bit better outfit than Langy. So I'll go Mount Eliza to get going in this.
Okay, I like that from you, and I don't blame you at all because it is, like I said, I think Langy in a close one just because I think, I think Lang Warren are probably going to be a little bit more set up this coming week. Not sure why. Can't tell you why, just my opinion. The Pines next will be taking on Edith Vale Aspendale. This is going to be a very good game as well, to be played out at Eric Bell Reserve.
This is the game of physical presence.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Both two physical sides, probably the most two physical sides in the comp, and they're going head-to-head, and I think it'll be a cracker. Yeah,
me too. And I think... I think Pines are on a bit of a roll at the moment, so I just think that they're going to be a little bit out-bodied. There was a comment made last week around, is it McKenzie, the fullback, or one of the backmen at the Pines? He's been rated as probably an absolute gun, and he'll do a number on Ty, and I reckon Pines for me.
Well, I'm looking at EDFs just on the Pine start from last week, and if they bring that again, they'll get wiped by EDFs. So I'm going with EDFs to take the first 2 quarters by plenty.
Oh,
wow,
Gammers?
Yeah, kind of. I was going to say the opposite. I don't know a lot about Pines. Obviously I know their full forward and their full back really, really well. And I know a lot about EDS. I just think Pines. They look to be the form team of the comp at the minute. It's hard.
They really do. I know.
Sharpie to have that first half that you said he had sus, and then to end up with 6 goals really is a sign of how good he is.
Yeah,
he's still a kid too. 21, 22, caught between VFL footy and Div 1 footy. So he's not living the perfect footy life at Pines. But if he's firing and they get him enough supply, I think he kicks another bag and they get over the line if the conditions are wet.
No, very interesting. I like that. The next game's going to be played up on the hill, Red Hill Recreation Reserve. It's going to be against Mornington. Tell me this isn't really the stage setter for potentially the bottom of the ladder. Is that a fair comment?
Spook was looking to go and watch this and have memories of last year about this one. So, and I'm sure Jamie will have. Vast memories of the last.
Well, he very
round.
well might because Basie have their bye this week, so he might go up to the hill.
Controversy on the hill.
So
especially if Spook's up there.
Oh dear.
I'm sure Jamie will remind the players of Red Hill that what happened last year and the Red Hill players will either respond, but just thinking of the run speed and the mobility of Mornington, if they can put the 4 quarters together, they're in. If not, it goes to Red Hill.
I agree,
Mornington.
Totally. Look at the fors and against. So both teams get scored against, but Red Hill just can't score at the moment. 216 fors for the year. Mornington at 367. Both are leaking quite badly. And Mornington, it's funny to say, they're actually in form.
Yeah, they are. I agree.
They've been really,
well, they're
really
kicking
good
around 100 points consistently. So, absolutely.
I think Mornington might put a bit of a number on them.
Oh, I reckon too. Yeah, I reckon too. I'm saying 7+ goals.
Oh,
yeah, I am.
It'll be very close.
I think they're. I think Mornington are going to demand a little bit of respect this time up the hill, and it's a bigger ground, of course, but I don't think they'll have any concern covering it. And Sus in the wet, Mornington in the wet.
They go okay.
Yeah, okay. Well, Mornington for me up on the hill against Red Hill. The next game is the selection table match of the round. The two informed teams. How could you not potentially select these as the match of the round? I called up today with Brett McRae Whale, some might know him as, down at Rosebud, just at Bunnings, as a matter of fact. We were having a yak at Bunnings, and he's like, "Where's the bloody podcast from last week?" And it was him that alluded us to the fact that old mate fucking breast reduction didn't run with the sus. You fell asleep at the wheel.
Oh,
Mate, it's not all about your vision. It's not all about your vision. There's a lot of people that listen to the podcast.
I was still under anaesthetics.
What?
Mate, there's that many chew and chow shops here in friggin' Chiang Mai, I tell you.
Oh, jeez. Very good. Well, it is Rosebud taking on Frankston YCW, and the stage is set. The crowd is going to be large, albeit in a little bit of precipitation, because it is expected to rain this coming weekend. But boy, oh boy, if there's not going to be a game that's one to go and watch this week, I would say that it's at Olympic Park in Rosebud, Gammers.
First for second. Here we go. Is it an early crow for the grand final preview? Oh, I'll say it because I don't watch a lot of Div 1. Again, I look at the ladder. Rosebud, high scoring, really stingy defence. Frankston YC, scoring okay, a little bit leaky, but I think they've just started to hit their form as well, haven't they, Frankston YC?
Yeah, they have.
A good scalp, nonetheless, against Mount Eliza, who are battling at the moment. But I reckon Goons, he'll go to work on the vision of last week's game where Rosebud got beaten, and if they can play a front half game against Rosebud, they're every chance. Especially if the conditions are wet, that takes the high marking key forwards of Rosebud out of the game a little bit.
Yep, no,
probably
you're right.
Probably suits Frankston YC to be
Probably
fair.
does suit Frankston YC. If it does, they will be doing the rain dance, Sus. I know that, because it's going to suit. It's going to suit them for sure. Both teams, displaying bigger bodies now, Gammers. So it'll be sort of that crash and bang. And then I said to Wale today, I think it's going to be one in the centre of the ground. I think who can move the football more efficiently, centre clearances. Does Shim. Is this the round? Is this the round?
Well, he'll compliment Luca Gernon, who was best on against Mount Eliza. Luca's built for wet weather footy, just a beast in the middle. So, yeah, if they unleash Sham as well, wow. Frankston YC for me, they'll go to the top of the ladder.
And then they got the likes of Lockie Street having a run around as well, a 1-pointer. So, yeah,
that's hard to compete with.
1 point this week, or
no? We'll go on to the points later.
We will go on to points later. Don't you worry about that. Rosebud for me at home. I think the crowd's going to get behind them. Rosebud. I think that the triple-headed dragon up the pointy end of the ground at any one time, I think, is damaging for anyone. You've got the two white boys in Mitch and Callum. When they're putting on 6 goals between them, and then can go into the centre. And it's a really good side. I said, is this the year, Whale? And he's like, Adam, I won't say. I could say it. He told me to, in no uncertain terms, to shut the fuck up, because they're concentrating, him and Danny. He reckons Danny's one of the best coaches on the planet, and when they're going as good as they are, you would have to agree. But Rosebud for me. Gammers, you've gone YC, and Sus, you've gone YC as well. Well, that rounds out the Division 1 football show. We're going to take a little break, and we're going to come back with something a little bit different.
Coach's Corner? Yeah, we'll do that.
We'll do Coach's Corner?
Yep.
Yeah. Gammers loves it.
We'll do the Coach's Corner.
We'll do the Coach's Corner.
It won't go for long, but we'll do it.
All right. Yeah. We're going to be back with the Coach's Corner and something a little new. You're listening and watching the Halftime Heroes.
Nestled on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula, Sharmac Lodge offers a peaceful 6-bedroom retreat in Rye for short-term stays for adults of all ages living with disability or illness. Overnight or day stays are available 7 days a week with tailored care provided around the clock. Guests can also participate in daily activities on the peninsula, making it a perfect getaway. Rest easy knowing your loved one's care is personalised to their needs. Finally, a short-term respite solution that brings peace peace of mind and can be funded under your home care package or NDIS funding. Book a tour today with the welcoming team at Sharmac Lodge. Visit aftercare.com.au or search Sharmac Lodge today. Let their family help your family.
Welcome back to the Halftime Heroes. It is now time for the Coach's Corner. He's not here, but let's run with it anyway. Let's lower that cone of silence, please. And it drops. See you there, Commish. Yeah, there's no Commish. There's no Coach's Corner.
That's it.
But what?
That's the best one we've ever had, isn't it?
I reckon that's probably the best.
He should be wrapped. He got no interruptions or anything.
No interruptions. He didn't have to bitch and whinge and sook and moan and cry and throw the toys out of the cot. Yeah. He had complete and utter, just...
Had it all to himself.
Had it all to himself.
Highest rating Coach's Corner.
So the next little segment I like to call, and I've just made up on the spot, it's called Kels Scoop. And it's already created so much controversy. I love every second of it. Now... answer me this, Halftime Heroes family. It has been widely spoken about in the MPFNL community. It would be remiss of us not to bring it up. So, well, I like to follow a lot of leagues around Victoria especially. And answer me this. Why do I look at Moe's football netball list after a weekend and see that a particular player is named on there? So an Premiership Co-Captain has parted ways and is now playing for Moe. I'm going to leave it there. That's all I'm going to say, Sus, because it's being spoken about widely. I don't particularly know why, and I hope there's someone out there that does. So let's start the conversation. He's a widely respected man in his community, an absolute superstar of the game, an ex-captain, Premiership captain, is now not at the club and at another club.
Well, we'll just maybe someone will come in and give us a yell and just tell us what's going on.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to leave it there. But if you do have a scoop and you do want us to share it amongst our masses of fans and the Halftime Hero family, then send it through. You know the website, you know the email address, because we will air that scoop. And what?
I've got another Kels scoop for you.
Oh.
Yep.
Well, it's not a Kels scoop. That's a Sus's scoop.
No, it's based on Kels scoop.
Oh, okay, yep.
And that is there's been some player points auditing.
Oh.
Yeah, and there's some irregularities been found.
Do you want to share?
Not yet. But I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll put them up on the screen now.
Oh.
Well, I just want to know why.
No, look, mate, let's be honest. And it's probably a good time to bring it up, Gammers, because this is a scoop as well, and we've been covering this from the get-go, and it's all about player points. Let's run with it right now before we get into the Division 1 football show. There is no question about that. How can 1 week a club put a player down as a 3-point player? And I know this is what you're alluding to, Chief. How can they mark him as a 3-point player and then the following week, if not 2 weeks later, put him as a 2-point player? I'm telling you that if you allow clubs to do this and because we've had some clarification. I've had Stuart Gay and Lou Meager, who Lou is part of, and that was the name I was trying to remember. And I'm so sorry, Lou, so embarrassing. Lou also is the YCW president and also sits on the MPFNL commission, as well as Stuart Gay sits on the commission as well. Now they have said that they don't really. No one from their knowledge really officiates, but audits. Thank you. They don't really audit the player points, so it's up to the clubs, the individual clubs. I'm assuming Gamma's the player managers in your to be your beautiful wife. Well, nothing
she does it. So it's thrown to the clubs to allocate a point, and I think if there's a severe discrepancy, then it gets audited at some point. Like we have had player points changed, but. Yeah, for bizarre reasons. And I think it leaves clubs in a bit of limbo that some of the talk back to us at Clubland is, it's okay because you wouldn't have gone over points anyway. But what if you did?
Yeah,
Do you lose your points? Do you lose the game? It's embarrassing for the clubs.
Again, it's left to volunteers to do something that is supposed to be done by professionals.
Spot on.
So,
and it's not necessarily, and don't get your pitchforks out and your torches and go down banging at Casey Fields on AFL Southeast door, because it's not them. Is that right, Sus?
Look, it's a responsibility of everyone, but ultimately...
But who's auditing? Who's responsible for auditing?
Well, ultimately it comes down to AFL Vic. That's my understanding. Right. So, and you mentioned at the start of the program about my reduction and all is you can interpret a size B, and I can interpret a size C, and they could be the same thing.
Because it depends on the strap in the back.
It does. So
it does.
And this is where we had the feedback during the week. That,
oh God, and did we have feedback? It went off.
And it's it's a formula, the player point system, but the formula is flawed. And can be manipulated at different times of the year. So my understanding is, and I'll be corrected if I'm wrong, is the player points are allocated at the start of the year before round one. That's my understanding. If someone wants to correct me, come and have a whack. Even come on the program and have a chat with us. But, I mean, if we want a fair and decent competition, folks, we just want the points allocated at the start of the year, and the intent is for everyone to play MPNFL. If their intent is to go and play VFL, that's good. Whether it's 1 game, 5 games, or 10 games, that's good. They're still regarded as, in my eyes, as a VFL player.
Absolutely. And if you didn't catch the post that we're talking about, Sus, it was James Frawley who lined up for Devon Meadows, and the other player was Ned Cahill, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now, one player being an ex-200 game Hawthorn forward.
Backman.
Sorry,
Hawks,
no, I was right.
Premiership player.
Yeah, Premiership player. He's how many points? 3. 3-point player, and then you've got Ned Cahill, who he's got a pretty good resume as well. But at the end of the day, it's not 200 games at an AFL club Premiership player. So the system is very, very broken. And my argument is it might work on paper, but if no one's actually auditing it, and therefore it's not transparent, and to be honest with you, it's a bit of a clusterfuck. So I think until that's sorted out, I think we're going to have discrepancies all year and for years to come.
And
we should have probably learned a lesson from this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Frankston Bombers had an issue with points.
Under-19s.
Well, under-19 players, and they didn't even know. Because we're asking volunteers again to do a paid job. It is so convoluted. So 2 years ago, whoever sets the points, I actually don't know who it is. If it's AFL Vic, AFL Southeast, MPFNL, I don't know. You only hear from MPFNL. But they were setting the points before the season started. That was how it was. Then it became clubs set the points for players. So that's changed. And now this year, you have to set a point before you can name that player on a team sheet. So you can put whatever value you want within reason. It's broken.
Some audit results will be out shortly, folks.
No, absolutely, because you've had a look.
I've gone over each player in Division 1 and Division 2.
And you've identified some discrepancies.
Yep. So let's have... And look, guys, I'm not trying to blame anyone. It's just the system. And unless we've got a system that we're all signed off with, and we've got staff at AFL Southeast and at AFL Vic, and I'm telling you that wage-wise, we're up around the $500,000 to $1 million a year that are supposed to be administering our systems. So they've got roles to play, but leaving it to volunteers to put a formula in, geez. Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
And we don't want this to change the result of a grand final.
No,
we've seen exactly salary cap stuff in different leagues all around the state impact the result. We don't want this to be one of them. It's avoidable.
No, it is avoidable, and they need to get, I suppose, their act together at the end of the day, because it's going to continue where you've got volunteers inputting information, and if it gives them a slight edge, and that club, not pointing any fingers by any means, but if that club might need a little edge, then maybe just change that from a 3 to a 2, and that's the ability that the current systems allow you to do. So I think it needs to tighten tighten up. I think there's issues, and you've just been listening and watching the news segment, Kels Scoop. Surely that comes with a jingle or something.
It will.
It's going to have a jingle.
What's the new top segment?
Bit of a Mardi Gras
it
theme
is.
type of
Well,
thing.
I don't know, because that Coach's Corner, that
Not tonight.
Not
Coach's
tonight.
Corner, that's the best one I've
yeah,
heard.
it's the best,
Yep.
definitely. So much homework put into that one, I'm telling you. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with the Division 1 football show. You're listening and watching the Halftime Heroes.
Nestled on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula, Sharmac Lodge offers a peaceful 6-bedroom retreat in Rye for short-term stays for adults of all ages living with disability or illness. Overnight or day stays are available 7 days a week with tailored care provided around the clock. Guests can also participate in daily activities on the peninsula, making it a perfect getaway. Rest easy knowing your loved one's care is personalised to their needs. Finally, a short-term respite solution that brings peace of mind and can be funded under your home care package or NDIS funding. Book a tour today with the welcoming team at Sharmac Lodge. Visit aftercare.com.au or search Sharmac Lodge today. Let their family help your family.
Welcome back to the Halftime Heroes. It is now time for Division 2 football that was played out in round 5 on Saturday the 10th of May. And the first game was Chelsea taking on Somerville Football Netball Club. Chelsea too strong in the end, 13-7-85, defeating Somerville 6-16. Oh, Gammas, you'll have to explain that. 6-16-52. I looked at quarter time and I think it was 12 straight points. That had been at half times. Yep. Is that's true?
That is true. Yeah, that's not a typo. Full credit to Chelsea. Good kicking's good football there on their home deck. They're a slick unit. Last year's grand finalists. Really high pressure game, this one. And I've obviously done the review for tomorrow. I went through the stats. Probably a game on paper that we should have done a lot better in, but yeah, we squandered a lot of opportunities and just couldn't buy a goal in the first half. Second half, Chelsea kind of took the game away for us in the third quarter. And to my boys' credit, after last time we played and we lost by 100 points in a prelim, we really fought it out. So 22 scoring shots to 20 in the end, but a 5-goal loss. Plenty of positives for us, but Chelsea are a good side and we need to get to work on a few parts of our game.
And I suppose their Gammas... 6-8 second half, which brings it back into perspective a bit for you? Yeah,
look, we just finished off our work a bit better. Like, I'll share this one with you. We had 62 inside 50s to 39, but we had 53 shallow inside 50s. So we walk away from the game going, where are we, how are we going here? We've lost our last 3. And then we look at the stats and go, lots of our game is in really good shape. Yeah. Just not quite finishing off at the moment. We're not getting the opportunities we want in front of goals. So.
One more kick.
Yeah, look, one of those goals, we were pretty close to kicking 2 of those goals in the second quarter, probably gets us within 11 points at half-time, and then you're up and about. The boys are like, if we just do a bit more of that, we win the game. But to Chelsea's credit, really experienced outfit, and they just put us to the sword, and we'll wait for next time at home.
Absolutely. Chelsea best, Kieran Albanese, Will Barker, Brett O'Hanlon, Jordan Kelly, and, of course, the superstar in Todd Gardner. They played with 41 points. And for the best, Somerville, Geordie Hayter, Jack Moroney, Will Sir, Daniel Marshall, and Lockie Haskett. And Somerville played with 33 points. Sus.
That's great.
That's great, he says.
Well, it's good. The coach is back. He's back from his holiday.
Yeah, he's back from his holiday, and also a fan of the Halftime Heroes. Always watches. So g'day to you, Dave. But good to see that you're watching and listening, mate. We are big supporters of Chelsea Football Club as well as 21 other clubs as well. Gammas.
Can I just shout out? Todd Gardner played his 200th game on the weekend against us. I think that's about 13 seasons they were talking about on the day. That's a huge effort for a guy that of his talent that would have had offers every year, I reckon, to go somewhere else, to stay loyal to that football club and play 200 games. So well done, Toddy, and you got in the best and played really well, so well done.
Yeah, no, very well said by you, Gammas. The next game was Devon Meadows taking on Kooringal, and we called this one to be a whitewash, and that it was 2016, 136, defeating Kooringal 2-5-17. Gammers, 119 points, mate. How do you rock up Tuesday night and sort of go, look, guys, this is what it is. Like Berkey's got his. I mean, we keep banging on about it, and we've had feedback going, you're a bit hard on Kringle, but look, at the end of the day, boys, we're just we're just reading the stats out, and with a slight opinion, I don't think we're going too hard. We know that it's been a decline. You were up 3 years ago, and now you couldn't be any further down. So we're only reporting on what we're reporting. But Gammers, how do you rock up on a Tuesday night?
Oh, it would be tough. Like I know where we're going, and some of the conversations we're having after 3 straight losses. So. They're a resilient club, Kringle. Berkey's obviously a legend of our game, and he's been here before at different times as a player and as a coach. They just need to find the little wins. They need to find the little stats that they're focusing on. How do they build their game? It's clearly not going to be success for them this year. It's building blocks to what the next successful era looks like. But that game, it says a bit about Devon, doesn't it? Like we saw them last week, and we were fairly impressed. Obviously, Frawley played and made us look silly last week, but he didn't play this game, which makes it even better. But I look through the best and the goal scorers, their stars are firing now. Joel Hillis, Nick Battle. I think Hillis has 5, and I'm guaranteeing he started in the midfield, and we know Nick Battle's a midfielder as well. So they are probably just flying under the radar, but we all know about them now.
Yeah. Well, also listed on their best was Jack Wilson and Alex Canal. Devon Meadows playing with a private player. So Devon Meadows had 36 points out of 42. In the best for Kringle was Zach Holton, Harry Park, Callan Dixon, Christian Matthews and Taylor Valentine. And they played with 36 out of the 44 available points. So plenty to come still from Kringle. Just keep trucking the little train that could get up that hill, and then on the other side of it will hopefully be...
it'll take some time.
Exactly. It's going to take some time. We've seen it. We have definitely seen it. The next game that took place was Hastings Football Netball Club taking on Crib Point. Crib Point by 49 points in the end, 15-13, defeating Hastings 8-6-54 at the Hastings Club. We called a close one, didn't we, Gammers? And 50 points.
First quarter did it all.
Yeah, it looks like Anna's has done his homework here. They've absolutely jumped Hastings, and the pattern of behaviour from Hastings has been they've been really strong in first quarters and kind of faded late, but Crib Point's just gone there and gone whack. 6 goals, 4 to 1 point, and that margin's roughly stayed for the rest of the game. So well done, Cribby, because I know there's just been we don't really know where they're at. We know they're emerging, and are they ready to take the next step? I mean, they're ahead of us on the ladder, so they're doing a lot of things right. But that's a solid win, and be a good building block for the rest the next couple of weeks.
Absolutely. In the best for Hastings, it was Cade Foster, Aaron Vincent, Thomas Mucciali, Kevin Lilac. There you go, putting yourself in the best again, Kev, and Patrick Wilson. And that was 41 out of the 46 available points. And for Cribby, it was Joshua Legrice, Harrison DeCluiver. Need me glasses. Sorry, H. Will Stewart and Noah Wiskin and Aidan Phillips, and they played with 31 points out of 44.
That's good points. So I think Aidan Phillips is a 4-point player there, so they're doing really well.
The next game, Gammers, was Rye hosting Bomb Beach Football Netball Club down at RJ Rowley Reserve, my old stomping ground. Bomb Beach too strong in the end, 39 points, 19-11, 125, defeating 14-86. Rye, I reckon they would have been pretty happy with that. They're scoring some big scores, Gammers, so you've got them this week, so no doubt you'll be doing your homework.
Yeah,
but
I'm looking forward to watching this game.
Yeah.
Looks like a shootout, looks like an entertaining game of footy if the quarter by quarter scores are right. Just high scoring from the start.
Look at that.
12 goals in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And Rye really accurate with 14 goals too, which probably there's a story there that keeps them in the game. And Bomb Beach, who we've had a bit to say about Bomb Beach on and off.
Lifted.
They have 30 shots. Rye are much improved, so that's a really good game from from Bonnie.
And I mean, let's not be remiss that obviously Bomb Beach do have a new coach, and shit's going to take time to work out. He needs to learn his players. He needs to, and that is Troy Schwartz. He needs to learn the players. The players need to learn him, as well as a new game system. So I reckon, and the boys weren't available. The VFL boys, Gammers for Bomb Beach. They didn't. Well, they definitely weren't. Oh, yes, they were. Sonny Peckett.
Yeah, I think they're regulars at the moment.
Yeah, they are.
I looked through here. 19 players have scored goals in this game. 10 for Ryan, 9 for Bomb Beach. So that's a good spread across. So both teams probably played the way they wanted to.
Yeah.
And Bomb Beach just saw a bit more of it.
And if we look at Bond Beach, the first 2 rounds, we had the nails in the coffin,
Absolutely.
ready to go. And
No question.
They're sitting in the 5 at the moment.
Yeah, that's it's pretty good. And like you said, Gammers, if a football team's kicking potentially, if there's 10 to 11 different goal scorers, they're going to win the game.
Yeah,
aren't they?
Absolutely.
Like when you've got that much firepower. For Rye, it was Justin Barnes, Campbell Robbins, Edward Green, Tom Hughes, and Jackson Allen, and they played with 31 points out of 46. So good to see Rye up and about. And for Devon Meadows, for Bomb Beach, it was Sam McElwain, Diesel Cavalcante, Jack Sullivan, Thomas Hogan, and Braden Chaplin. They played with 32 out of 45 points.
Tommy Hogan, he goes okay.
He does go all right indeed. The next game was Tyab. Speaking of crickets, Tyab, Tyab took on at the Pond. They took on Seaford for Football Netball Club, 2019-139, defeating Tyab 7-7-49 by 90 points.
14 shots to 39.
It's quite incredible.
I think that they need to go down to the shores of Western Port and get baptised.
I'm telling you, I was there on the weekend on Saturday night after the Bayswater game. We went for Mother's Day dinner at the Seaford RSL, and I'm telling you, it's the food coming out of that joint at just feeding the amazing Seaford Football Netball Club, and I'm telling you, the menu, it's incredible. Free plug, ching ching.
Beautiful. Seaford on a high. I'm talking about Tyab now, whereas they've. I didn't know there were so many gears in reverse.
Yeah.
Well, you're talking 14 shots to 39 shots. While in Thailand at the temple, the monks over there were telling me this is dead even. They were to have this result here. So, yes, if I was Tyab, I'd go down to the shores of Western Port and just duck my head in the water and just come out
in the mud flats
and just have a
maybe.
look.
Do you remember that old Bogues ad that was on TV?
Yep.
You chuck the box of empty beers into the river and it
into
comes
the river.
out. Is that what you're talking about?
I'm talking about chuck the 80-year-old person into the river and come out as the 18-year-old.
Yeah.
That's what needs to happen.
I'll do that.
For the best tie-up was Kyle Hurlston, Liam Brewer, Andrew Brown, Ryan Marks Logan, and Matthew Elliott. They played with 39 points out of 45 available. And for Seaford Football Netball Club, it was Ryan Jacobs, Peter Goulas, Liam Howe, Hugh Park, Sam McKinder. And they played with 36 out of 44 available points. A shout out to a halftime hero family member and also a senior coach in Rowan Bleeker. Bleeks, he was good enough to get in contact with the halftime hero family, with the halftime heroes, and you can look forward to Bleeks coming on very, very soon. I just need to firm up some dates. But
that's great, Dad. But we haven't heard much about Seaford, have we?
No, and that's why I said there's a reason why you haven't heard much about us, because I haven't come on. So I demand to come to Suss's Garage, did Bleeks. So Bleeks will be on from the Seaford Football Netball Club, and we're going to learn everything potentially before a Somerville game.
Jeez, I hope so. They're second on the ladder.
They are flying.
They're scoring well. Their good players are playing well, and yeah, they're a force to be reckoned with in 2025.
Yep, I'm telling you, it's the train line and it's the Seaford RSL. There's no question about that. And the next game, of course, was the halftime heroes selection table match of the round. It was Frankston Bombers taking on Pearcedale. Boy, oh boy, wow, we thought it was going to be closer, but it wasn't. Frankston Bombers way too easy in the end, 15-14, defeating Pearcedale 8-20. 68 by 36 points. Now, 28 scoring shots, Gammers, to 29.
Yeah, well, it gives the rest of us some hope, doesn't it? Funny this one. It's a little bit similar to our game against Chelsea. I think the stats might tell a bit of a different story. I haven't had a look so far. The 3912 postcode, we can't kick goals, can we? 616 for Somerville and 820 for Pearcedale.
Yeah.
And just the first quarter.
Yeah.
And the second quarter. I mean, it looks like the Frankston Bombers rolled up at quarter time.
It does. Well, they kicked 8 goals too, didn't they? In that second quarter. Look, they're scary. They probably shouldn't be in our comp. Let's be fair. It was last minute they dropped down, and even Lee said a couple of times that probably should have been Mornington for a while. And yeah, they are scary. And I just look at some of their players that are playing really well. Like, there's not many teams that got someone who can play on Khan, and Harrison Pryor's playing really, really well. Flex comes back this week. Sammy Glenn seems to be kicking 2 goals a week. Bailey Welsh is an ex-VFL listed play, might still be listed. They're just stars everywhere. A couple of Kringle boys. Matt Robertson's come back and he's kicked a couple of goals. They're scary.
And Gammers, do they take a gap out now, and there's a fair bit of space between the rest?
Yeah, I think so. I think you have to say that. It puts them in a great position that we'd all love to be in, where they can manage their list now. So some of the older guys, they don't play Khan for a game or two here and there and get him through. And some guys that have had some injury concerns, like Flexi, come back from a hamstring. Maybe he comes back and plays 3 or 4, and they manage him against some of the lesser teams. So, yeah, they're in pole position at the moment and going to be really hard to beat.
I like it. Harry Pryor, Ryan Murdoch, Riser, family friend, Flynn Wood, Bailey Welsh and Khan Haratuku. They played with a 36 out of 43 potentials. And for Pearcedale, on the best was Aaron Hosking, Jake Frawley, no relation, Archie McGuinness, Hugh Jones. I'm sorry, Hugh. I'm sure you're a good bloke, but... mate, you poor thing. Who spells your name Huw? Like,
he didn't have much control over that, though, did he?
No, I know, but geez, you'd be upset at your folks, wouldn't you? Anyway.
So those best players for Pearcedale, they are quality, but I'm noticing that I think 3 of them are backs. So maybe the ball was down there a fair bit. Obviously it was, but scoring shots were equal. And 3 of them are in the best. So
they played with 29 points out of available 42.
Hey, can I just interrupt? Sorry.
No.
Go to the bottom there again. It's not their fault, but how on earth the Division 1 team that comes back is on 43 points is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
So that's an easy answer, that one. So you, as a club, you individually apply to the AFL Vic.
Yeah, I know. I've written 2 letters in 2 years. We're still on 42 points.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go. So
it's mind-boggling for it. Like, I just compare it to our own situation because that's all I know is like we haven't won a flag for 40 years.
Well,
42
they would have
points.
gone, and I'm assuming here they would have gone down the lines that they're re-establishing their under-19s.
Absolutely.
Yep. And then put all those cases forward, and Ent's got an extra point.
Well done if you can get it. But
yeah, absolutely.
It's astonishing.
They're
not using it, by the way, so it's not going to make any
No,
difference.
that's right.
And they're a great side.
Well, that is a very, very fair point that you do mention, Gammers. Well, that rounds out what was round 5. Let's get straight into, please, round 6. What?
The takeaways.
Oh, fuck, see?
Come
the takeaways.
on.
Shit.
He's back.
I know, right? The
Just
bloody
can't.
executive producer, chief. Jeez. Your takeaways, please, sus.
It is definitely Frankston Bombers, and the gap there widening between first and the rest.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Gammers?
Yeah, and I will add Seaford. Seaford are becoming a force to be reckoned with, and well done, because they've been in a rebuild for quite some time.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there. And again, thanks to Bleeks for getting in touch with us. You will be you will be available at some point to come and join us in Suss's Garage. But for me, I've been asking for quite some time now, especially given obviously my brother's toe punts involvement with the Rye Football Netball Club. I played a lot of junior football down there, and I've been hoping that there was going to be changes, and well, lo and behold, there's changes, because they are getting better and better, and they will be up at the pointy end very, very soon. Maybe not this year, but definitely I reckon in the latter half of next year they will be firing on all cylinders. They're doing all the right things, and it's showing on the scoreboard with consistent high scores.
Upwards.
Yes.
Yep, that's good.
Yep, I would have thought so. Thanks for that, Sus. Let's jump straight into round 6 with the first game taking place. Round 6 is going to be played out this coming Saturday on the 17th of May. The first game is going to be Bomb Beach taking on Hastings at Bomb Beach Reserve. And Bomb Beach are firing. Troy Schwartz has them up and about, and I can't see them losing this one. Gammers.
Yeah, Bomb Beach firing. A little bit similar opposition on paper, I guess, to... They played they played Rye last week.
Yeah, right.
Rye probably going a bit better than Hastings, but I'd say Bomb Beach comfortably at home.
Yeah, Bomb Beach for me, comfortably.
They will cement their spot at the moment into the 5.
Yep. Oh, okay, yep. Very good. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep.
Crib Point Football Netball Club will be the next game playing out against Pearcedale at Crib Point Recreation Reserve. This is going to be an interesting game. Pearcedale, and I'll say it, are the Panthers flat track bullies? We will find out this coming week. But I know, Gammers, you hold them at a high regard, having seen them, and they do have the list, a very good list. So they should, by rights, get the job done against Crib Point.
Yeah, midfield battle. I saw that. I think Josh LeGrice was best on for Crib Point. He's probably their star performer in the midfield. So if he can have a big game, this game could be a fair bit closer than you think. But if the midfield battle is even or in any way to Pearcedale, I'd expect Pearcedale's forward line to really get hold of this game.
Oh, Sus. It's... Oh, mate.
I'd love to say Crib Point, but on paper, Pearcedale are going to come back. Because they have to. It's just
they do have to.
If they want to cement their position in the 5.
These are the games you've got to win, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
But if you're Crib Point, these are the ones you need to win to get into the 5. So, but Pearcedale in a close one.
The next game will be Frankston Bombers. We talk about the powerhouse of the big 3 to 4. You said that that Flex is back, which only just adds to the heartache of the future clubs that are going to be taking them on. Gammers, they're going to be taking on Tyab at Baxter Park, and well, there's going to be carnage.
Yeah, this one could be quite ugly. I've said before, I speak to the Tyab coach periodically. I know they're struggling with injuries and unavailabilities of players, but I don't think Frankston Bombers are going to be too concerned about that. And yeah, it's pretty good when you can bring a guy like Flex in when you're already 5 and zip on the ladder, isn't it? So it's a great spot to be
absolutely.
in. But this could be quite severe.
And 285 percentage points, so I'd imagine that would range into the 300s after this match.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because I think every club wishes that if they are unlucky enough, and it doesn't necessarily come down to luck sometimes, but if they are unlucky enough to get relegated, then they can only hope to go straight back up the next year. And the way they're tracking Gammers, it looks like that's
everything's pointing to that, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
They'd have to hit some pretty significant road bumps at the moment for that not to happen.
Frankston Bombers for me, easy.
Correct.
And the Chief nods. The next game will be Coringal taking on Chelsea Football Netball Club at Coringal. It doesn't look like it's going to get much better for Coringal. Can they stop the bleeding in some way? Can maybe defensively they can... Yeah, I don't know the answers, but Chelsea for me in what's going to be set up to be... Like, would you rest? Would you rest some players? Would you give some of those reserves players, Gammers that have been sort of knocking on the door? Do you give them opportunities? Do you what happens here?
Well, I think Chelsea are in a spot where they have to keep winning. It looks like a win on paper, and I know our boys are pretty sore after the game. It was a willing game, Chelsea and Somerville. They need to keep winning. So I would say they'll pick a reasonably strong side for this because they're already 1 or 2 games off the top sides and we're further behind them as well. So Chelsea by a lot, but I think you'll find they might come in and make a real statement here.
Chelsea will. Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
And this.
Oh, okay. So bring that. So just in answer
Well,
to my
percentage could be really
that's
important.
right. So you just keep going. You just press that foot on the throat even harder.
Well, I think you're going to find the top sides are going to do that. Spook said last week about Div 1 being the closest it's been. I reckon Div 2 between third and... Well, we're 8th at the moment. We hope we're going to be part of the finals. That's pretty close as well. So big wins could really set you up.
Yeah, okay. No, I like that. So in that sense then, my point of, do you rest players, is that done maybe down the pointier end when the finals are sort of, looking very even and like the top 5 set?
I know, I probably haven't even shared this with my boys, but you'd love to be in a position where 4 or 5 weeks out from finals, you could probably pull a few back and then get them going again for finals. You probably want 2 or 3 games in a row leading into finals if you think you're going to be a chance, get the rhythm back. Probably a bit early now, and Chelsea, I think they're a game ahead of us, maybe 2 games now. They're probably not in that position just yet.
Yep.
And you would hate to drop a game like this and really halt your season.
Yeah, absolutely. The next game will be the Somerville Football Netball Club Gammas taking on Rye at home, Somerville Recreation Reserve. And, mate, you're gonna have to do your homework on this one because Rye, they are coming and it's not going to be an easy game.
No, absolutely. Really impressed what Rye have been able to do. It looked like they were not tracking that good in the first 2 rounds, and they probably had the opposite season to us, really. Started slow and have come good, where we started well and have slowed down dramatically. We haven't played Rye at home for a long time, so that's exciting. There's a bit of a buzz around the club about that. We'll put a lot of time into Rye. We really need to bounce back, and Rye will probably look at us. I know if I was Maury, I'd be going, hey, Somerville are gettable here. They've lost 3 in a row. Let's really rub it in. So hopefully for us that's not the case. But we're going to put a lot of homework into Rye and bring our best, and hopefully that's good enough to get back on the winners list.
Very, very good. What about the weather? What does the weather do for you guys heading down south? For them heading up.
Well, we would have loved some rain the last couple of weeks. Like we've played Chelsea, we've played Devon, and we've played Pearcedale. All got key forwards, and it's been the most beautiful days you've ever seen. So,
bring on the rain.
And now we get rain against Rye. We'd probably prefer it to be a nice day, but we're in a position now where we've got to play rain, hail or shine and start piecing some wins together, so it won't matter to us.
Are you at home or are you down at RJ Rowley?
No, we're at home.
You're at home?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
So they will be very much looking forward to going up there.
I don't know if Rye will be able to know. Will they know how to get there?
I don't think so.
It's been a long time.
It's been a long time. I don't think they will. I'm pretty sure. Maybe they catch the 788 to Frankston and then the Stony Point line down to Somerville. That might be the easiest way.
Might send a welcome party out, maybe.
Well, that's like a 4-hour trip, don't you? The next game is the selection table match of the round, and we've chosen Seaford taking on Devon Meadows at RF Miles Recreation Reserve back in the land of Seaford. And wow, this is Gammas, you're up to date with the ladder positions, but what is it? It's third taking on or second taking on. Second taking on. Sorry,
third.
People. Second versus third.
Where is it?
It's at RF at Seaford.
Wow,
So that could be interesting. The long deck of Devon, and shrunk onto the RF miles and trains going by.
It's a battle of styles for me.
Yep.
Seaford, high handball, chain it up, a really even side. I mean, they're posting some really high numbers on handballs we haven't seen before. Devon are probably a bit more of an attacking side than a defensive side. They do set up well across half-back with Kent, but not necessarily a great team defence side. So, look, if Seaford can get that handball game going, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if they get over the line.
I reckon Seaford at home. They are trucking, and that's not just because Bleaks and I are now besties. It's just because I think they can get your job done against Devon Meadows.
This will validate Seaford. Like, I know they beat Chelsea a couple of weeks ago, and that was a great win. But if they do it again, this really validates them and puts them like 2 games clear inside the top 3 or 4 teams, and not many teams will fall out from there.
That's right. Exactly right. Well, I've gone Seaford. What about you, Chief?
Devon, I think they'll their power and their top 5 players will be the difference. Even though Seaford have probably got similar in their movement of handball, I think it's just the defensive processes of Devon which will get them back. But it'll just be interesting how they work that defensive process off a short ground.
I like that from you.
Yeah.
Very in-depth.
Gee, I know.
Technical.
Well, he's been quiet the last 5 minutes. He's probably just been writing it all down and making sure that ChatGPT agrees.
Fuck me.
Oh, he's put the fringe away too.
Yeah.
Have you?
I like
You
the
look younger
fringe.
with a fringe.
Yeah, jeez.
There it is.
To
Looks like a schoolboy.
also thanks to I don't know, Moe Yi in Thailand for putting these hats together.
Can't mention his name. He's underage.
Cut that out. Cut that out.
He's underage. Oh, really?
Not really, folks. We're just saying it. I mean, he's not underage.
He's
Great
not,
hats.
No, he's not.
Great
Great
hats.
hats. Great hats. Little bit. I don't know how they'd hold up in some serious weather, but
Oh, our face would turn blue, wouldn't it?
I think the old peak would just melt. I think it's just cardboard. Well, that's a wrap for Division 2 football show. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've enjoyed bringing it to you. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with Sus's Pallets and Rose.
Nestled on the beautiful Mornington Peninsula, Sharmac Lodge offers a peaceful 6-bedroom retreat in Rye for short-term stays for adults of all ages living with disability or illness. Overnight or day stays are available 7 days a week with tailored care provided around the clock. Guests can also participate in daily activities on the peninsula, making it a perfect getaway. Rest easy knowing your loved one's care is personalised to their needs. Finally, a short-term respite solution that brings peace of mind and can be funded under your home care package or NDIS funding. Book a tour today with the welcoming team at Sharmac Lodge. Visit aftercare.com.au or search Sharmac Lodge today. Let their family help your family.
Welcome back to the Halftime Heroes. You named it. He's been not here for the last 2 weeks and we've missed every inch of him, which is a lot of inches.
I've got less inches now.
You do, and they are ever so perky. Although your nipples, they're not quite aligned. They really fuck that up.
I've got to go back next month.
Next month.
Put back on. So come on, let's keep on going. Far out.
Take it away, please, Sus's Pallets.
Right. So, folks, what I witnessed there
Put them back on.
what I witnessed over the weekend.
Oh, but it's fine. Everything. It's the best it's ever been.
Laura, it's the best it's ever been. That's her quote. Folks, we've got some fundamental problems that need to be addressed. So, and this is where I just don't get some of the decisions that are being made, and they're not in the spirit of the game or the rules. And so, just folks, keep the. I'm getting wound up here, folks. And SUA, I've put the application in.
Like, seriously.
Yeah, I've put the application.
Seriously, the application.
I've filled
the goal
out.
umpire.
Yeah, that's been a couple of months now.
Yeah, I've put the app into AFL Vic to register for training. I'm here. I mean, you got my email address, you got my phone number. I'm ready to go. So if you need me, I'm more than willing and able.
And that's not boundary umpire. That's goal umpire.
You're not getting me doing field umpiring either. Tell you
Field?
what, nah,
Mate, jeez, they would have a field day with you out in the field.
So, there's one instance I saw on the weekend where there was confusion amongst all players. All players stopped. They literally grabbed each other, and the umpire made a decision, 50 metres. He did not call the reason why the 50 metres. So that was upsetting, and the amount of head-high tackles that are going undetected is just out of control.
Protect the players' heads.
Yeah, so
it's pretty simple.
Laura, the best it's ever been. Well, you might have to go back and rephrase that. That's probably the other issue as well, is that AFL and VFL are fleecing all the good umpires because they're missing umpires up in the seniors.
Especially in VFL land, we were communicated with the other day that weren't we, Sus, that a lot of the umpires are going umpiring, officiating VFL games, which is leaving us short.
You need 33 umpires to officiate a VFL match.
And look, and that's one of my points. So it starts at the top, like everything in on this planet. It starts at the top. So the MPFNL SUA umpires, they're watching day to day, aren't they, Gammers? They're watching the AFL over the weekends. When we can't get it right at the top, then it filters down. There are too many umpires and there are too many rules. And when you've got too many umpires that are over officiating the game, and it all comes down to interpretation, because the third umpire might not interpret that exact same rule, although there's been a slingshot over the other side of the ground. It's now gone to the other umpire, and he doesn't oh, I just had the word then, but he doesn't perceive that rule as being exactly like that, yet the other umpire does. And that's when you've got your inconsistencies. That's where fights come from. That's where the abuse in the crowd comes from, because as a punter you get frustrated. We just need to just wind shit back a little bit, I think, Sus, and we just need to look at all the bloody rules, Gammers, and look at how many umpires are on the field. As far as I'm concerned, there needs to be more boundary umpires, because those bastards work the hardest, and the field umpires need to be cut.
Yeah, I just... Yeah, it astounds me sometimes that...
Well, how was the trip with Pickett on the weekend? Melbourne, I don't mean to bring up AFL again, but that was in the goal square. That was an absolute clear trip. And not one of them, there's 4 of the fuckers, not one of them could pick that up. Yeah. What the hell? Yeah. Like, honestly, I don't get it. And then the Collingwood game, Lockie Schultz gets absolutely KO'd and not one umpire saw, and play on, game continues. He's got a team of medics around him to get him off the ground. He's collapsing and the game goes on.
Is the game just too hard? Like I use this analogy that you can teach an AFL person how to watch NRL, but it's very hard to teach an NRL person to watch AFL.
It's hard to teach any person, really, that hasn't grown up with AFL. And my beautiful Canadian wife is a perfect example. She still doesn't quite know the game. Now, she's grown up watching lacrosse, ice hockey, and the Canadian football, and as well as NFL. And she's like, AFL is just so complicated. It is. It really, really is.
And we're making it more complicated. We need to
dumb it down. Yep. We just need to dumb it down. I like that from you, Sus. Welcome back. We're back in your garage. It's
the vibe of it, isn't it?
That's exactly what I was...
A great line from the castle. It's the vibe of the thing. Danny Denudo.
You were giving me shit last week.
Hey, I beg your pardon.
You weren't here.
You were telling me how good the MP studios were.
Oh, yeah, it's pretty swish.
I know, but we didn't get cheese and bickies, did we?
We had carpet on the floor.
We had carpet.
No, we didn't have... We missed the spread.
Yeah, we missed the spread. Beautiful cheese. I know, and about $18,000 worth of insulated walls as well. It's okay when they're in the cupboard. Yeah. Well, thanks, Chief. We are back in Sus's garage, and it's been an absolute pleasure to be back. What?
I tell you what, the first person to come in with a legit beef or pallets program will get a hat.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
wow. Yeah. I might send money when I get home.
Give us your beef, and we'll chuck it in.
I like that. We'll along with your credit card details and your CVC number on the back, and we'll gladly charge you a very minimal fee to receive one of those. No, I'm only taking the P1.
I've never seen a hat that doesn't have a tag in it. Like, this is amazing.
It really is.
It's the land of no licenses.
Yeah, exactly. They just do. No, I think there is. I saw Gucci just under there.
Oh yeah, it is too. Nike.
Well, that is Nike. Well, that is a wrap from the Halftime Heroes. It was episode 8. We hope you've enjoyed it. She was a pretty slim roster, but we got it going, and we've enjoyed every second of it. I'd like to thank us three, really. Gammers, thanks for joining us, mate.
Pleasure as always.
Absolutely. And Sus, like I said, it is a pleasure to be back, mate. It's a pleasure to have you back in your garage, looking trim and terrific. I'll cop a squeeze later. We've enjoyed bringing you the Halftime Heroes, episode 8, the football show. It is good morning, good afternoon, and good night.